Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Software Inc. So when we left off, I kind of had a question about what exactly a lead designer would do and how to get the best one. After researching a little bit more, I think we're gonna wait until all of our automation comes out, see which project does well, and then start a gauntlet of lead designers. Just hire a bunch of lead designers and go through, make them all compete for contract works so we can find really good lead designers, and worst case scenario, we can just poach them from other companies. So to get things started, it looks like our next release isn't coming out for another year, but we did go ahead and have our sports game. I believe on this one, we scroll up so that way you can see it. Our lead designer here is going to be snugglygamer, so she's working on a sports game for us. I'm noticing a lot of our employees here are not actually doing any work, so let's go into manage team and check out our game teams and make sure everybody can do everything. It looks like our 2D 2009 research is finished, so let's hit finish on that. Do we want to do a patent? Yes, we do. And for our 2009 audio patent, that is also finished. We already started our 2010 research for 3D and audio, so we just have to do our research for 2D, get that up and rolling. I don't think anybody's going to have any time to actually work on it until next month, obviously, but that's okay. So our research is up and running for 2010. Our port team has 2 jobs for them to work on. We are currently creating a 2D editor, which is reaching, iteration 4. And since our teams aren't really doing anything right now, I am just going to go ahead and assign all of our game teams to our 2D editors. That way they have something to work on when they're a little bit low on that kind of stuff. We're also developing Call of War, which is our first-person shooter game, and that is almost complete. July 2013 is plenty of time. We got almost all of our marketing done. Cowboy 3 still has a budget of $20,000. We'll go ahead and leave that as is. And then as for our support, it looks like we're getting through all of it. And we have another employee who is just like glitched out and just like not doing anything. Can I click on them, please? So that way they can go home. Details. Why are you working nights? Just like, I hate working nights. Then why are you working nights? Okay, go to employee, left click on the employee and employee details. No. We'll go ahead and send them home. And then since it rolled over to midnight, I'm just going to double check our distribution. It's been a little bit like 5 days since I played this, so it's always nice to have a refresher. Looks like we can probably reduce house cleaning simulator to 15,000. Football we can probably release or bring down to like 5,000. Cowboy 3 probably bring down to 15,000. World Conqueror probably bring down to 20,000. And our audio tool, go ahead and bring the maximum of that down to 10,000. So that is going to free up a lot of distribution, which will be nice, especially heading into the next year. And hopefully with that employee going home, oh my gosh, there's another employee. Who are you? Excuse me, ma'am. Can I send you home too? Okay, after quickly scanning through everything, it looks like everybody actually is working now, which is good because I hate it when the employees don't actually work. I'm like, what am I paying you for? We do have 1 maintenance person and like 2 couriers currently waiting, but we didn't have anything release recently, so that is okay. We didn't get any notifications. Well, I guess we'll get them. We'll get them at a later point. Let's also go ahead and bump up our research tasks to level 10, so that way we can make sure our research teams are focusing on that, even if they are assigned to other projects. And it also looks like our next simulation game is coming out in 2010 at the end of this year in October. So That is reassuring. An employee can't find any food. Well, there's plenty of food, I promise you. Okay, so we did have a product run out of sales. They want us to have 98,000. Okay, so let's go back to our distribution. Cowboy 3. Go ahead and bring this back up to like... No, it says that there's 98,000 in stock, so I'm confused. How about 50,000 we can set as the maximum? But it said that we had 98,000 in stock. Do I have a courier that comes and picks things up at the end of the day? Okay, the printing job for Zolda 2 is complete. That's our adventure game. December of 2010. Okay, so they pushed it back a little bit, but that is okay. Oh no, they brought it forward. They brought it forward by a lot because we still have our simulation coming out in October 2010. So this might be the year that we actually set up our Lead Designer Gauntlet to, you know, replace the lead designers who are terrible with their creativity and inspiration. Is that awful? Firing somebody because they made a bad sequel? Maybe. The game RPG team just lost their leader and is no longer under HR management. Okay, well that's a little bit scary because that means that we have to, we have to reset this whole entire thing, I think, because it's, well, I guess it is in the alpha stage. So hopefully, let's do takeover for Cowboy 4, and then we'll just kind of take care of it for that. It's unassigned right now. We'll leave it at that, and we'll just hire a new leader for that team a little bit later. So let's go ahead and move up the release date on Cowboy 4 to August 2010. Go ahead, market it by submitting a press build, and then start printing. Let's do 20,000 because I'm a little bit nervous that this game isn't gonna do well. So we'll start off there and call it good. Okay, a product ran out. Maybe, let's check. We still have some boxes to be picked up, so I'm assuming that we just aren't getting our couriers to pick up everything that they need to. Or maybe, I don't know, it keeps saying that we're running out of sales on Cowboy 3, which to me is a little bit sussy, you know? Okay, we can promote Call of War. We're going to market it by changing the release date to... So we have August release, we have October, we have December, so we're probably gonna do a September release. Oh my god, this might come to bite us in the butt, but that's okay. No, Cowboy 3 is still not having enough. So let's go ahead and do Cowboy 3, do the maximum on this to 100,000, I guess. I know we're still like advertising it pretty heavily, and maybe that's the reason why. Because yeah, we still have the $20,000 budget on that, which is crazy. Okay, it is now August of 2010. Let's go ahead and release Cowboy 4 and see how it did. Aw, they did not do a good job. That's what I was fearing. Okay, let's go ahead and set a budget of 15,000. Hit okay on that, and let's go ahead and bring it up for our support team to handle, as well as bringing up the marketing for our marketing team to handle. And what we're going to do is we are going to create a new team. We're going to call it the Lead Designer Gauntlet. Okay, we're going to add this. And for here, let's go ahead and hire some lead designers. Let's go for a medium salary. That way, hopefully we can get them, you know, pretty good. All we really care about is, let's throw all of these on here. We don't really care about multitasking, and we don't really care about compatibility at the moment. So I guess we'll do it with core and just see what kind of lead designers we pop up. And begin looking. Okay, we got lots of lead designers with everything that we want. So we're going to switch this to our new Lead Design Gauntlet. And this team is going to take turns switching off being leads. So let's go to employees. You are going to be change role, a leader. And then we're going to pick up some deals. We want deals for design. Hit OK on that. And let's find one that's short. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this on our Lead Design Gauntlet and take everybody else off of it. Hit OK and hit accept. And this is going to be the only thing that they have to do. So let's go ahead and bust that up and then go ahead and assign them to one of these top rooms to Lead Designer Gauntlet. Okay. Hopefully they come in today and can bust this out. Otherwise, we're going to take a hit to our business reputation. Maybe I'll go ahead and also assign our core team to it. And then assign... And so that way they could pick up the slack, since they're only going to have like 2 months once that team actually comes in, because they decided not to come in today. Cowboy 4, even though it wasn't a great game, did make a lot of sales. We were short 80,000. So let's go ahead and do Cowboy 4 maximum of 100,000. And then let's also check our release and see how it went. I mean, how does this make any sense? It said that it was a bad game, and look at that. We got great quality. That's like some of the best games that we ever did. So I'm just confused about why that's so crappy. Okay, well then it threw me for a curveball, that is for sure. Our audio research 2010 is finished, so let's go ahead and finish that and patent it, and then also start an update for our audio tool to get this, you know, snatched up with the best of the best research. Go ahead and update that. And so we released Call of War, and now our House Cleaning Simulator 2 came out, so let's check it out. I mean, it was good quality. Awesome. So that means we don't have to get rid of the Lead Designer for House Cleaning Simulator. Okay, perfect. Going ahead and looking at this, they did not finish this at all for our Lead Designer Gauntlet. That is what it is. But looking at this, it does look like we are going to need to get our house cleaning simulator up and running. So let's go ahead and assign this one to... We'll assign it to snugglygamer, even though I think she's already working. Well, is she working? No, she finished her first-person shooter game, so she should be fine. Let's look at the details here. Pamela Fernandez, sports game, snugglygamer. Okay, so she's currently doing the sports game and the RPG game, so that is a little bit sussy. Before we start doing our first-person shooter automation, I do want to go ahead and finish up this Lead Design Gauntlet, just so that way we kind of have some extra employees doing it, because right now snugglygamer is doing our top 2, which is not great. Let's do this, because it's due in October 2011, so that'll give them a year to kind of get that up and running, which should be enough to actually give them a time to go through at least one iteration, and it's a game, so that's good. A product has run out of sales. Okay, I think I need to quickly go downstairs and increase our distribution. Okay, so I just expanded it a little bit, so that way it's, we can now print 576. Right now we're at 498,000 with all the, if we had to print a full load every single day. So now it shouldn't be a worry. We shouldn't worry about it too much. You know, I think we have enough printing capacity, and then I just wanted to go ahead and make sure, so we can print 576, but we can ship 594. So we might be overdoing it a little bit, but I'm not too worried. And we're getting the notification that snugglygamer does not have any inspiration, which is understandable because she is busy doing more work than she ever possibly could. Our 3D research is finished for 2010, so let's go ahead and finish that, get our patent working on that. Of course, we want to patent audio first, so we're gonna bump that up. We're gonna let's go ahead and assign law 1 to it, and then assign law 2 to 3D. That way both of our law teams are working on them separately, and hopefully by splitting the load it's going to work a little bit slower, but they'll be able to feel less stressed out. And so we're just working on our 2D research for 2010. Our 2D editor is completely full, so let's go ahead and develop that and assign just assign all of our research and all that kind of stuff. Let's do 3D research onto there too. Okay. So our game teams are off designing the 2D editor. Let's go ahead and market it. Let's do an announce a release date. Let's go ahead and do a press build. Let's go ahead and hype it and hit OK. And make sure that is up and running. The other thing that I'm kind of noticing is that our marketing team isn't really getting everything done. And we, at our current layout, we can add like maybe 1 or 2 extra desks, but I'm thinking realistically what we're going to need to do is start getting our support team into this building and getting our marketing team into a separate building because they have a lot to do and they aren't getting it all done. The other thing you can do, since we're not really to that point yet, is go through and just check out and reduce the budget on a lot of these things. So bring the budget down to 5,000 on that one. Budget on this, we'll go ahead and make it 15,000 because they have like an infinite budget right now, which doesn't help anybody. I think it's gonna storm, but my room gets really hot with the door closed. So if you guys can hear the wind, I'm so sorry, but it's also like too hot for me to close the window. Sorry, not sorry. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and start another team. This is going to be our updates team. For our update team, let's go ahead into HR management and get this all situated. And for this, we're going to hire 17 programmers who are going to specialize in system, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. Okay. Let's go ahead and give them a medium salary, and that is all set up. Let's hire a lead programmer who does not need automation but HR and socialization. Let's begin looking, change this to our update team, and then look at the age. So this guy's the cheapest and he's the youngest. So that means we don't have to, but he doesn't have any HR. We need somebody with HR completely. So this guy's the next youngest. Okay, all right, we are going to hire Alta Graham here to run our update team. We'll go ahead and hire that person, and let's go to employees to change their role to auto role and a leader, hit OK. And then they are going to work in these 2 offices, and they are going to help us blast through all of these updates that we need to do. And they're going to work on all the updates that doesn't get done. And it looks like our adventure team just released Zolda 2. So let's check it out. Zolda 2 was great. Okay, so we can go ahead and keep our adventure. Reggie Fox, great. Pamela, fantastic. Michael Gray, we'll find out in a couple months whether or not we need to replace him too. But right now we're looking at just needing 2 extra lead designers. I still am holding out hope for this Lead Gauntlet program. Obviously, this is something I'd like to get started maybe earlier in the gameplay before we start automation. But if we don't have somebody soon, then I think I'm just going to have to poach a lead designer from another company, which I don't necessarily want to do, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know? Okay, our update team is up and running. They are blasting through Cowboy 4 update, which we love to see. And something I kind of flubbed with was getting our port team to actually work on some stuff. So let's go ahead and start with our most recent release and get them porting over onto anything that's above 500 at first. And that's going to help our sales. And we're going to do all of our 2010 releases, even though we're going to have another game come out here really soon. Unfortunately, we finally hit that point where we are not keeping up with support, which means we definitely need to expand all of that. I'm just looking around and seeing, I want to keep the green areas as green as possible, but I'm thinking we could probably do with buying this plot maybe and having a little small, or we could do our little small strip of support right here, and then this park is just shared by everybody. So I think that's probably what we're gonna do for next episode. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this part here. Next episode, we are going to get our support and marketing team their own huge building, and maybe even move our law team over there as well. It looks like my camera is doing that thing where it's been lagging. I'm so sorry. That's happened like several videos now, and I'm not really sure how to fix that. So I will have to do a little bit more research, but I think we had a pretty successful episode. You know, we got our lead design gauntlet up and running. We had a couple successful automated releases, which is awesome. We're still working on our 2D editor, but that really isn't our highest priority. But yeah, we're just falling behind right now. So we need to give support and marketing their own huge team and huge offices to keep up with the incredibly high demand for our back-to-back-to-back releases. So until I see you guys again, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.